When the legend becomes fact, print the legend.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Trusting in the sanity and restraint of the United States is not a strategy, and it is not an option.
We don't need no thought control.
Was a conspiracy notion out there. How much influence do you have? Was it you and your fellow neoconservatives that created the momentum towards overthrowing Saddam Hussein?
Nobody does a thing in this town without our approval.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets.
How are you?
Well, I'm here.
I'm here too, but you don't sound very good, Lenny.
No. I think they're zapping us with some waves to give us some
microwave waves.
Yeah, so everybody deal with the colds. Both 2 weeks now.
I know.
2 shows.
Well, mine is almost gone. Yours has gotten worse, but you know we're here and we'll do our best.
Well, there's an old saying, I mentioned it last week. It's that it says that ontogeny repeats phylogeny, which means that the individual development of every organism repeats approximately the development of its race, which is interesting because when we talk about how shocking things are, it's like every individual is replaying what's happening to the race, and the human race is in real trouble, eh, Mrs. Steele?
Well, it's in real trouble. We're in Jacob's trouble now, and you know what? Violence is a quest for the identity, isn't it? That's what we're going to talk about.
Exactly.
So we're gonna do some more tribal stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the things that we've been talking about with the sleepers. We're going to talk about that. A lot of the things that we've been talking about for many months.
And we've got global warfare on multiple levels. The financial warfare. I mean, it's all out there. We'll continue to talk about that. And let's get frenetic. Let's bare our minds. And
you've got some back-breaking news items, Four Horsemen news.
Tons of stuff. And you know what? A lot of it is just shocking, Lenny.
Yeah, totally.
Are you shocked, Lenny?
I don't know.
Because I am.
Yeah, I think sometimes I'm shocked, and sometimes I'm not shocked at all, but should be shocked.
You should be shocked.
I think I'm getting, Mrs. Steele, really, I think I'm getting, after having been doing this now since 1970, since the Clay Shaw trial, 69, 99 would be 30 years, so this is 40 years. Mm-hmm. Having done it 40 years following the coup d'etat.
Well, you must have just been a baby then, Lenny.
Well, I was in 1970, in 69, I was 17. So I'm getting jaded, and I'm no longer really shocked. I think I am shocked, but no longer by the news. I'm shocked at how it's taken people so long, so very long, to wake up. I would have thought that they would have woken up by now.
Well, you know what? I think they are waking up now. There's a great interest, especially with the internet, and I think people are waking up. They're listening. They're connecting the dots. And I think, you know what happens when the dread settles in and people are hitting the pocketbook?
Yeah.
That's what Sherman Skolnick said. That's when they start to say, hey, what's happening out there? So I think,
yeah, during the
it's
good
happening
times
now.
economically, they
Yeah.
never would listen to us. There were times when I thought it might break. I remember in the 70s with the Watergate, when we found out that it was exciting when some things would break into the public realm that we knew behind the scenes, like when it came out that Frank Sturgis was one of the Watergate burglars. Sturgis had been in we had been showing in the early 70s pictures of Oswald in New Orleans giving out fair play for Cuba pamphlets.
So he was a CIA operative.
When his
That's what he
name
was.
came out, we thought, that's going to connect the Watergate burglary to Dallas, and now the truth will come out about the assassination, and then nothing happened. Our hopes were dashed.
Well, there was that article. It was the mind control and the JFK assassination. So the consensus is that, in fact, it was not a very small group of people that created the conspiracy behind the assassination, but it was a global network of secret societies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the consensus is now. At that time, very few people believed that that was true. So I think it is changing. I think there's more of an acceptance for, the truth.
So
what really happened. And that was,
the next
about it, 1963.
The next flashpoint was 76, when Carter got in, and of course Jimmy Carter was JFK's half-brother. There's another little tidbit that
because a
nobody
peanut
knew.
farmer doesn't become a president.
Yeah, you
Does
just
he?
don't become president.
You have to be connected.
His
It's usually
mother
by
was
blood.
had an affair with Joe Kennedy. And he became president. And let's remind people that when he became president, he started to look into and explore the death of his brother, and in order to ruin his presidency and take away his power, so to speak, his power as president to issue edicts and to have the support of the nation, George Herbert Walker Bush went and met with the Iranians and hired the Iranians to take Americans hostage.
Oh, yeah,
And that was the hostage crisis.
Was it? 1979.
I think it was before. It was
Was
well,
it
it was 78.
somewhere in there? Yeah,
It was
yeah.
earlier.
Yeah.
And you'll recall.
So it was a diversion.
It was a diversion
Yeah.
because what Bush wanted to get Carter distracted from looking into the 75 files that had been sealed away, and stop looking into his brother, his half-brother, Carter's half-brother's, JFK's assassination. So Bush got involved in this treasonous activity of paying foreigners to take Americans hostage, and Bush did a tremendous job holding America hostage, the nation hostage, using the media and getting the Iranians to take the hostages. And you recall that there was an attempt to rescue the hostages during that period, and a number of helicopters went into Iran to try and rescue them, and the operation failed. And I years later spoke to a high-level
Why did
general.
it fail? Like, what happened with that?
Well,
Like,
Bush exposed it.
Okay.
Carter, as the commander-in-chief, sent in this operations team. Bush learned of it. George Herbert Walker Bush, Daddy Bush,
and told the Iranians about it.
learned of it, and he didn't tell the Iranians about it, but he somehow, we don't know yet, but somehow this is another act of treason. He used that information to kibosh. You recall one of the helicopters crashed, so it's alleged that George Bush was involved in that helicopter crash in the desert that ended that mission. And of course Carter was then disgraced in the eyes of the American public, and the eyes of the American public were glued nightly on the Iranian hostage